Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Denton Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. My name is Kim Teal and my pronouns are she and her. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. Whatever your reason, whatever your worldview or spiritual tradition, age, race, gender identity, sexual orientation, financial means, physical ability, political affiliation, or immigration status, you are welcome here. Newcomers, please complete an online visitor information card to connect with us. See the chat or the seat pocket in front of you. Each week, children ages 0 to 3 are welcome in the sanctuary or in the nursery in the fellowship hall. Children ages 4 through 5th grade are invited to join Explorers group by signing in at the welcome wagon, and then will be invited to their room later in the service. Youth 6th through 12th grade are invited to remain in the service. We have some announcements for today. The Religious Education Committee is meeting today after the service. If you would like to volunteer with our youth, we would love for you to attend in the fellowship hall. Help keep our building and grounds looking great. We will hold building work days this Friday, July 24th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. outside, and Saturday, July 25th from 9 a.m. to noon on the inside. CUPS is holding an intermediate paganism class next Saturday, July 25th from 2 to 5 p.m. in the fellowship hall, a follow-up class to this year's earlier Introduction to Modern Paganism. Join John Beckett and Sin Talbot for an afternoon of deeper discussion. Do please let them know if you have questions. It is not required to have taken the first class to attend this one. After worship today, please join us in the fellowship hall through this door for coffee and conversation. Today, we welcome Dr. Chester Chambers to the pulpit. Dr. Chambers is a retired professor with prior appointments at Johns Hopkins University and Southern Methodist University. He is currently a scholar, author, blogger, and keynote speaker. He is the former host of the Cultural Awareness Seminar on WDUR Radio in Durham, North Carolina, and currently lives in Frisco, Texas with his magnificent and patient wife of 35 years. Welcome, Dr. Chambers. Now let us prepare our hearts and minds for worship.
Do not leave your cares at the door. Do not leave there your pain, your sorrow, or your joys. Bring them with you into this place of acceptance and forgiveness. Place them on the common altar of life and offer them to the possibility of your worship. Come then and offer yourself to potential transformation by the creative process that flows through you and all life. Blessed be. I now invite Michael Swan to help us light our chalice. We light our chalice, symbol of our faith, for truth sought through a questioning heart and an attentive mind, and for love pursued through obstacles inside and outside our own human heart, and for forgiveness and all it entails, the place where truth and love meet and merge. Please rise in body or spirit for hymn number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are, and we will sing that 3 times because it's a little bit short. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to sing this one time through in unison, and then we will split into ones and twos. So people over here are ones, people over here are twos. And the ones will start the second time we sing, and then you come in 2 measures later. The twos come in. We've done this before. And then we get to do it all over again as ones and twos. A second chance. Number 188, sorry. Okay. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of living, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of faith. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again whoever you are, ours is no worshiper, lover of living. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. We did it. Thank you.
Accident by Andrea Sumumi. Oops! Accident. Oh no! Long circle. I've ruined everything. Have you ever had an accident where you thought everything was ruined? Oh, read, don't show. Okay. Because it's up there. All right, thank you. I'll hide in the library. They have books and bathrooms. And I'll stay there till I'm a grown-up. So Lola ran away from her mess and right into everyone else's. Oh, no. What happened? Disaster. What do I do? Run away to the library. The library is a good, safe place. And hide there forever, or just till we're grown-ups. Oh no, major mess. I am the worst. Let's run away until the end of the world, or at least till we're grown-ups. Oof, ack, yikes, splat. Oh no, what happened? I'm just used to this. We're so unlucky. What else can go wrong? Oops, whoops, ruined, wrecked. All these things going wrong. Everything is going wrong. Spills, slips, fiasco, mayhem, big, big trouble. Calamity. Hooray, we reached the library. Finally, at the library. And a huge catastrophe. Oh no. Oh no, Lola cried. Then she quickly rolled away and bounced and bounced and bounced until disaster, fiasco, mayhem, calamity, catastrophe, accident, 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 and now we make it better. I'm sorry. It's okay. Let us help. Thank you. Could you help me? Sure. I'm sorry I said that about you. It's okay. Are you all right? Yes, don't worry. May I help you? Yes, please. Then Lola left everyone else's mess and went back to her own. It was a mistake, an oops, a boo-boo. It was crash, an accident. Exactly. And now we will invite up who would like to light the chalice today. Someone? All right, come on up and light our chalice. Yeah, careful. We will say together the words in the order of service. This is our chalice of love and light, uniting you use by day and by night. And now we will go to our class as the adults sing. May your minds be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, he will sit on his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you?" The king will reply, "Truly I tell you, whatsoever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters, that you did for me." Then he will say to those on his left, Depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire, prepared for the devil and his angels, for I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not invite me in. I needed clothes, and you did not clothe me. I was sick and in prison, and you did not look after me. They will also answer, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or needing clothes or sick or in prison and did not help you? He will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me. Please rise in body or spirit for hymn number 323, Break Not the Circle. Another reading from the same gospel, which was, of course, is a Greek word meaning good news. Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, Sit here while I go over there and pray. He took Peter and the two sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me. Going a little further, he fell on his face to the ground and prayed, My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will. Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour, he asked Peter. Watch and pray, so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. He went away a second time and prayed, My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done. When he came back, he again found them sleeping, because their eyes were heavy. So he left them and went away once more and prayed a third time, saying the same thing. Then he returned to the disciples and said to them, Are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come, and the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners.
The offering we take now is not a transaction. It is a practice of presence, a way of saying that what we do together matters, that this community matters. May we give as we are able, with gratitude for what sustains us, and with faith in what we can build together. Let this offering be a blessing, a holy presence made visible among us. Each week we pass 2 baskets, one for this faith community and one for the larger community. Our second offering recipient for July is United Through Hope. United Through Hope, helping others progress and excel, is a 501c3 nonprofit started in 2012 to help individuals build social skills and confidence, with resources and programs available in person, online, and via social media. United Through Hope offers children and adults training that develops a range of skills like socializing, life management, job readiness, fiscal responsibility, independent living, and leadership. United Through Hope has 2 physical locations, one in Denton and one in Frisco. Both locations are in renovated homes that provide a naturalistic atmosphere. United Through Hope's programs are available to first through fifth graders, teens, and adults. And the organization offers adjunct services such as counseling, behavioral consultation, and special education planning alongside the community that can be a crucial support to help people navigate transitions in their lives successfully. Please see the chat or the order of service for ways to give. The offering is now gratefully received.
It's how I hold my head up after I have missed the mark. It's how I know I'm loved when things are dark. It's how I stand when I am feeling small. How I stand again after a fall. It's how I'm even standing here at all. Some people call it grace. Falling down like rain on everyone so warm, like greetings from the sun, like a gentle snow. It's making every surface glow. And I know I didn't earn it. That's how I know it's grace. It's how 2 people keep their love alive through thick and thin. It's how a broken people sing again. It's how the wounded set aside their blame, how the down and out cast off their shame. It's how I know that holy is my name. We're all the same to grace. Falling down like rain on everyone so warm, like greetings from the sun, like a gentle snow. It's making every surface glow. And I didn't have to earn it. I didn't have to earn it through a word or through a deed or through a trial or a creed or by denying what I need. I only had to reach out my hand and it was there. But still it cannot take away the truths I have to face. Oh no. That's not how it works with grace. And I know I didn't earn it. That's how I know it's grace. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live.
I come to you today to speak on this great mystery that we call forgiveness. Forgiveness sounds simple on the surface. You frequently will hear people tell you, just let it go, as if you are voluntarily holding on to some rope for no reason, as if you can simply choose to stop feeling some pain that you don't understand, as if when you do some performative act, all of the pain will go away. Forgiveness is hard to understand, in part because it exists on at least 3 levels. You can forgive the world, which is probably the easiest since it is the most abstract and doesn't feel so personal. You can forgive yourself, which should be the easiest thing in the world to do, but for some of us takes decades to accomplish. You can forgive others who have wronged you. And that is what most of us think of when we think of this word, forgiveness. But let's begin with a very simple idea, just a piece of what forgiveness is. Forgiveness clearly is in some way the capacity to let go, to release resentment, and instead to choose some different mystery that we call love. Unfortunately, all I've done is replace one mysterious word with another. Love is one of those things that nobody really has a perfect definition for. It's like gravity. Physicists have equations for the law of gravity, but on some level, nobody knows exactly what it really is. It's just this invisible force that pulls everything back together in the material world. And love is that invisible force that pulls everything back together in our internal, invisible world. So I need to approach this topic in a slightly more creative way. Now, I first started thinking about this mysterious thing called forgiveness when I was 6 or 7 years old. As a student in a Catholic elementary school, we would be taken to Mass on Friday mornings. Unfortunately for me, anyway, the Mass was conducted in Latin, so I had no idea what the heck anybody was saying. But if you've ever been to a Catholic Mass, you understand that several elements of that Mass are fully scripted, so I could at least follow along with those pieces. And fairly early in the Mass, we would all stand and recite, "I confess to Almighty God and to you, my brothers and sisters, that I have greatly sinned in my thoughts and in my words, in what I have done and in what I have failed to do." Now that's a tricky thing to process for a 6-year-old. You mean I have to be forgiven for what I failed to do? I thought to myself, this is a game I can't possibly win. I'm wrong even if I don't do anything. As adults, it's easy to sit at the end of the day and to think, I didn't do anything terrible today. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't steal anything. I didn't cheat on my wife. I didn't lie too much. But this confession seemed to add something amazing. If an elderly woman has to choose between buying medicine and paying rent, and I do nothing, am I wrong? If those people are deported without due process, and I say nothing, is it my fault? If the world descends into chaos and madness, and I sit here quietly, is it my doing? And this is what called to mind that classic reading from the book of Matthew. I presented it to you the same way that it was presented to me. But I'm going to translate it into simpler English. The man said, I was hungry and you would not feed me. I was naked and you would not clothe me. I was a stranger on your border and you would not let me in. And they looked back at him and they said, that never happened. We never saw you hungry and wouldn't feed you, or naked and wouldn't clothe you. And he said, whatsoever you have refused to do for the least of your brothers and sisters, that you have refused to do unto me. The point being, of course, that we all stand in need of forgiveness. Not necessarily because we did some horrible thing yesterday, but because we could have done more good than we did. A little later in the Mass, we would get to another scripted portion that everyone knew, so even when they said it in Latin, I could follow along, and it included this line, give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Being only 6 at the time, I interpreted that to mean that I can't be forgiven unless I forgive you first. And being 60 or so at this particular time, I'm still think it means I can't be forgiven unless I forgive other folks first. So we need some recipe. We need to figure out some way to do that. It's not always the easiest thing to get done, is it? Fortunately, we have some other traditions that we can draw upon. Specifically, I recall that the Buddha, among other things, was a famous list maker. He had the Eightfold Path, the 7 factors of enlightenment, the 52 mental factors, the 4 noble truths. And from that same body of work, I'm going to draw from the 12 principles of forgiveness. Now, in the interest of time, I'm not going to go through all 12 of them this morning. Maybe you can invite me back sometime. But I want to give you a few to hang on to in the weeks ahead. Point number 1. Let us understand what forgiveness is and what it is not. Many people will say, I can't forgive you because that would mean I condone what you did. Other people will say, I might be able to forgive you, but I could never forget. But this only makes sense if we assume that to forgive is to agree that a wrong was not done. If you don't think anything wrong was done, there's nothing to forgive. The Professor Charles Griswold gives us a working definition of forgiveness in his book, Forgiveness, a Philosophical Exploration. He says that forgiveness includes at least these 4 things. Letting go of all resentment. Letting go of all thoughts of revenge, but without forgetting the wrong that was done. To abandon contempt for someone or disappointment in them. And finally, to abandon all negative feelings toward this person insofar as such feelings are based on the episode in question. It's not a perfect definition. It's not bad, but it kind of misses something. There's some feeling that's not in that clinical breakdown. Let me say this. You may forgive a person and still choose not to walk beside them any further. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, nor does it demand foolishness. What it asks of you is simple, that you no longer carry the fire of resentment, because resentment burns only the one who is holding it. Point number 2. Since the suffering that comes from not forgiving, if we do not awaken, if we do not forgive, we simply pass the poison along. We become the very thing that we once suffered from. And in this way, the world remains locked in a cycle of resentment and retaliation. Forgiveness is the refusal to play that game. It is the decision not to pass along what was handed to you in anger. It is saying this stops here. Not because the other person deserves it, but because you no longer wish to carry that burden forward. For you to refuse to forgive is the opposite of compassion. Because even if you never act on your resentment, you are doing harm to yourself. And that is its own kind of sin. In Viktor Frankl's famous work, Man's Search for Meaning, he refers to an exchange between two former prisoners of war that meet. One of them says to the other, "Have you forgiven your captors yet?" The second fellow says, "No, never." And the first one says, "Well, they still have you in prison then, don't they?" Recognize the suffering that is caused by not forgiving, and recognize that the one who bears that suffering is you. Point number 3. It is not necessary to be loyal to your suffering. Let me get at that one in a different sort of way. Jack Kornfield tells this story that was relayed to him by a fellow that worked in the children's correctional system in Washington, D.C. He tells the story of a 14-year-old boy who wanted to be tough. He wanted to get into some gang. And in order to prove himself to the gang members, he had to go out and shoot somebody, which he did. The shooter was apprehended, tried, and convicted. After the trial, of course, we have the sentencing. At the sentencing, just before the shooter was taken away in handcuffs, the mother of the boy who was shot stands and looks him in the eye and says, "I am going to kill you." After being in prison for a year or so, the shooter gets a visit from the mother of the person that he shot. He's a bit afraid to meet with her, but he agrees because she's the only one who's ever come to visit him. She says to him, "I've got to talk to you." She asks him how he's doing, if he's taking classes, picking up any skills, if he needs anything to read. She finally asks him if he could use a little money. She finds out they have an account that you can put money into for the boys to buy snacks and things that they barter with, so she gives them a few dollars. She proceeds to go visit him every few months or so, and over time she becomes the only regular visitor he's ever had. As he's approaching the time when he's eligible for parole, she asks him, "When you get out, where are you going to work?" He tells her, "I have no idea. I have no family. I don't have anything to work with. I never had a job." She says, "Well, I have a friend who has a little factory. Maybe I can help you get a job there." So she makes these arrangements and notifies the parole board that the young man now will have a job to go to when he gets out. She comes back and she asks him, "Where are you going to live?" He says, "I don't know. I don't really have any place to go." She says to him, "Well, I have a spare room. You can come stay with me for a while." So he comes to her house, goes to the job that she had found for him, and after about 6 months, she calls him into the living room and she says, I need to talk to you." So they sit down and she says, "Do you remember that day in court when you were convicted of murdering my son to get into your gang, and I stood up and I said, 'I'm going to kill you'?" He said, "Yes, ma'am. I'll never forget it." She looks back at him and she says, "Well, I have. You see, I didn't want a boy who could kill in cold blood like that to continue to exist in this world, so I set about visiting you, giving you presents, bringing you things, taking care of you as best I could. You see, I set about changing you." And she finally says, "You are not that person anymore. I couldn't figure out how to forgive that boy. but I can forgive you. You don't have to be loyal to the suffering of your loss simply because you want to hold on to the memory of what you have lost. You can find another way. Point number 4, and this is the most difficult of the 4. You must grieve in order to forgive. You must be willing to weep for what was lost before you can genuinely let the resentment go. We wish there was a shortcut, don't we? We wish we could skip that step. Jesus didn't want to fall crying on the ground and begging and praying for some way out. But you can't skip the grieving process. You can't skip the tears. You can't skip the pain. As Khalil Gibran writes in his book, The Prophet, your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. It is the bitter potion by which the physician within you heals your sick self. Therefore, trust in the physician and drink his remedy in silence and tranquility. For his hand, though heavy and hard, is guided by the tender hand of the unseen. And the cup he brings, though it burns your lips, has been fashioned of the clay which the potter has moistened with his own sacred tears. Sit with that one for a moment. Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. You cannot fully forgive until you fully understand what it is you are forgiving. And the grieving process is part of the development of that understanding. So these are a few principles I'm hoping you can take away with you. Let's understand what forgiveness is and what it is not. It is not condoning. It is not forgetting what happened. Sense the suffering that comes from not forgiving and realize that when you do not forgive, the one who suffers is you. If I wrong you and you never forgive me, I'm going to be sitting on a beach in Hawaii anyway. The only one who's going to be suffering is you. 3, it is not necessary to be loyal to your suffering. You can find a way to keep the memory of what was lost and still let go of the resentment that you had attached to that loss. And finally, recognize that you will have to grieve in order to make true forgiveness possible. Because if you don't know what it is you are actually forgiving, it's not genuine forgiveness. I have to accept that the wrong was done. I don't pretend that it wasn't wrong. I don't forget it. I realize it. I deal with the pain with the help of those around me. And with that understanding, I can move on. I believe that if we embrace these elements, if we can recognize these principles of forgiveness, we can all move to a better place where we actually deserve the forgiveness that we seek. I thank you. Please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn. Hymn 131, Love Will Guide Us.
Love will guide us.
As we extinguish our chalice, let us reflect on the words of Paul Beatty. May our lives be blessed according to the depth of our love, the persistence of our faith, our willingness to forgive and be compassionate, and in proportion to our yearning to be free. Will you join me in the unison words for extinguishing the chalice? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. As we end our time together today in spiritual community, may we depart this sacred space, knowing that blessings shall follow us all the days of our lives, if we live in and return to right relationships, if we extend grace and forgiveness to ourselves and others, if we behold mercy as a spiritual superpower, if we emanate the greater love that holds us close. May our lives radiate the blessings that we have been given. May kindness and compassion fall gently from us. May there be peace in the world, and let it begin again with us. Blessed be.